Hello everyone, welcome to iExamB. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the exam for SO, Union Bank SO Forex vacancies that had come out. The exam was held on this Saturday, 9th of October. So in this video, we will discuss what was the level of the exam, the type of questions that have come, and what can be the expected cutoff based on the inputs given by the students who gave this exam. And also in the end, do wait till the end of the video to know what you should be doing now after listening to this analysis. So as we know, the exam was on 9th of October and the pattern of the exam consisted of 4 subjects: reasoning, quant, professional knowledge and English, in which the weightage was the highest for professional knowledge. And in this case, we are going to discuss about the Forex vacancies. And after that, it was followed by quantitative aptitude, and then reasoning and English had the weightage. So we'll discuss the level for all of these subjects and what were the type of questions that came in. Before we move on into the detailed discussion, I would like to request you to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not done that already, and press the bell icon so that you are always updated about the latest happenings in the government job space, as iExamB is the only platform that provides you timely and accurate information related to various government job exams. So now moving on to the analysis. The first part, the quant, reasoning and English, I have clubbed together, and we'll discuss what was the level of questions. So the level of questions, if we look at for the quant and reasoning aspect, it was easy. It was very easy to easy. Majority of the students found the questions direct and very easy to solve. And the topics that they were covered under quant and reasoning were also the most commonly asked topics. Like simplification questions were there. Then there were around 9 to 10 questions related to quadratic equations. Then 2 sets of data interpretation sets were there, around 10 questions based on 2 sets of data interpretation. And arithmetic questions like simple and compound interest based, profit and loss based, partnership based. So there were arithmetic questions of around 10 to 12 questions related to these aspects. If we then yes, there were also numbers, 7 to 8 questions related to number series. So the very obvious type of questions were asked in the quant and reasoning paper. If we talk about reasoning, there were puzzles. There were 3 puzzles. 2 were very, very simple, and 1 was, you can say, to some people moderate level of topics were there. And then the most common topics in reasoning were there. So overall, the quant and reasoning paper was easy and doable, and many people have actually attempted questions in 35 and 40, up to 40 questions also people have done easily in quant and reasoning. When we talk about English, here again the level of paper was easy to very easy, and the questions again were from the common topics, like there were jumble words, 7 to 8 questions related to jumble words, then around 8 to 9 questions related to correct usage of grammar, and then there were RC based questions. And the RC here was a passage was related to American dining, so there was a passage related to that and questions related based on that. And then error spotting questions and fill in the blank questions were also there in the English part. Now coming to professional knowledge, the Forex questions which had the highest weightage, so out of 200, your 100 marks paper was on Forex alone. So around 100 marks, 50% of your paper was of Forex. So a little more detailed discussion, what was the level of Forex. So here the level of questions has been varying. The inputs have varied from student to student. Overall, if I see the average, it has been easy to moderate. Many will say it was not easy, it was moderate, maybe because there were certain topics that they had not focused on. However, if there were certain topics like documentary credit, letter of credit, these type of topics, if students had focused on, they found the paper to be actually easy. So what were the highlights of this paper? The highlights of the paper were there were no numericals. A lot of students were very worried about numericals, trying to understand how to calculate the forward premium, the cross rates and all, and maybe you spent a lot of time on that, but the exam had no numericals related question. The questions were actually conceptual in nature, related to LC's, letter of credit, then import export related rules, and then certain other rules and accounts based, like various facilities that are available to NRIs, to residents. All these topics, conceptual questions related to there, were majorly covered. Another aspect was there was no current affairs. So the things that people are mostly scared of and may have wasted time was not covered, was not asked as we had estimated. You can see the video we had discussed about the course and the syllabus for forex that one should be preparing, and could have easily prepared on that aspect. So if we now discuss about certain type of questions, what type of questions had actually come in, there were almost a lot of weightage of questions was there on documentary credit, or commonly known as the letter of credit. Around 10 to 12 questions. In fact, some have even saying that there were around 15 questions from this topic. Ultimately, this had the highest weightage in the entire paper. Then there were 3 or 4 questions based on FCNR account. These are accounts that the NRIs can open. So questions related to FCNR accounts were there. Then some questions related to concepts related to what is TT buying rate or TT selling rate, or when should TT buying rate be used, or when should TT selling rate be used. So those kind of questions were there. Then questions related to documents and timelines, and submissions related to imports and also exports. Those type of questions were also asked in the exam. So 2 questions were related to exchange rate type of risks. Exact question you will be able to get soon. We are in the process of making the memory based paper, but there were questions related to certain kind of risks related to forex also being discussed. 1 or 2 questions related to the corresponding banking. Correspondent accounts are there. We know that there are 3 types: Nostro, Vostro and also Loro account. So there was, I think, a question on the Loro account in the exam, and 1 question related to import export code. A very direct question was there as to how many digits are there in the import export code. So this is just an overview of some of the questions. As I said, we will be preparing the memory based paper for the full 50 questions, but this is more or less the analysis of what type of topics, what was the major focus of the paper in the forex exam by Union Bank. If we talk about the coverage that was done by iExamB had a Union Bank forex course being run from the last 1 month, extensively and comprehensively preparing students for this exam. And we are happy to share that our expert faculty and a focus of our faculty to clear concepts in the class had been very relevant. Our expert faculty is Mr. Shankar Nagarajan. He is ex-manager RBI with 5+ years of experience. Even in after his retirement, he has been teaching in the banking, trade, finance and forex subjects, and he'd been taking classes, very clear concepts in the classes he discussed, which has helped students to clear this exam, to attempt this exam, sorry. And our strategy had been to focus on concepts, and a less focus had been on numericals and current affairs. This strategy worked very well and was in line with the exam paper that came. 90% of the forex questions have been found to be covered from our notes, MCQs or class discussions. So the students at iExamB have actually found the paper of the forex easy. and approximately 10 questions were directly from our mocks, which had the exact options also as that came in the exam. So if we show you some of them, there was a question related to FCNR account. What type of account is an FCNR account? So this is a screenshot from one of our mock tests or section tests given in the course. Then there were questions about the EFC account, how much percentage you can bring in as inward remittances allowed, 100%. This question was also there in the exam. How many digits are there in the import export code? Another question that is directly being asked in the exam. A question related to the exporter, how much time the export documents have to be submitted within how much time. Again, a question directly there was covered in our mock test. Indirectly also some questions have helped, like Nostro account questions we had, and Loro account, what is a Loro account. These type of questions were also covered in a mock test, which helped to solve the actual questions in the exam. Letter of credit related questions, one related to confirming bank, again a question that was there in the exam, the exact wording of course we will have to confirm, but a question related to confirming bank, issuing bank, all these concepts were also covered directly in our various tests provided in the course. Irrevocable letter of credit related question was also there, again a question related to that was there in our mock test. Different types of risks also we covered, again there in the mock test. So these are some of the examples of questions that have been there in our mock test, which have been directly or indirectly asked in the forex exam. This is also how the comprehensive notes we had given, which helped in conceptual clarity and last minute revision for the students, where we discussed different types of risks, different types of rates, where they are used, TT buying rate, TT selling rate, where they are used were also discussed. This is a screenshot from the note related to the documentary credit or the letter of credit, where different parties, when, what is their role, when, what performs, what is their actual role in the whole LC process is discussed. This is a screenshot of the UCP's the various article under the UCP 600. I think there was a question related to article 28 that was there in the exam. These are the conceptual classes that were held in at iExamB. Over a total of 20 classes, we cleared all the concepts plus revision that was done in the last two classes through MCQs. A question on Loro account using SBI and PNB, same exact example was used in the classes to explain the concept of correspondent accounts, bank accounts in the class. TT selling, TT buying rates concepts were cleared and discussed very clearly in the live classes. These are certain MCQs. I think another question from the MCQs that were discussed in the classes, what is the maximum tenure of an FCNR account? That was 5 years. Again, a question clearly discussed in the class. A question related to date of shipment for imports of India. What will be the document that will be used? Again, questions like these were discussed in the classes. So a lot of questions have been discussed in classes, which provided the clarity. So overall in the course, we had 5 mock tests covering 250 questions of forex, and beyond that around 100 questions were there in the form of section tests, and approximately 200 questions have been discussed in the classes also as revision. So a good number of questions had been discussed, had been provided in the course for a comprehensive coverage and conceptual clarity, with 20 classes held in the overall course. Now coming to what is the expected cutoff for these things. First, let's look at the inputs that we have got from the various students who have attempted. On an average, the range of questions that have been attempted for forex has been around 26 to 33 questions is what the range has been for the students who have attempted this. For quant, the range has varied from around 18 questions to 25 questions. For reasoning, the range has varied from around 15 questions to 22 questions. And for English, the range has been between 15 to again 23 questions approximately is what the students have attempted. So this is a good attempt and we know what the weightage is. So if we also scale down for the accuracy, okay, so we need to scale it down for the accuracy of the paper. So I'm assuming accuracy at 75% of this, because these are good attempts. This is not the lower range. These are the average of the attempts of the various students who have given the inputs related to their exam performance, and assuming at 75% accuracy, we think that the cutoff can be somewhere around 75 plus minus 5. So around 75 plus minus 5 can be the expected cutoff, based, of course, based, terms and conditions apply based on the inputs being given by various students who have attempted the paper. Okay, so this is what can be expected. Of course, the results should be out in 2 weeks time, and we will know what has been. However, what should we do? What should we do? What should be our next strategy? So we know that in the notification there were 3 scenarios that were given if the online exam is conducted and then the personal interview is done, and then there were 2 more scenarios without the online examination. One was only PI, personal interview, and the other was GD and interview. Now that we know that the online examination has happened, the next step is the personal interview, the PI, right? And your final selection will be based on the aggregate of your performance in both online examination and the personal interview. So if you have attempted good, if you have a good score and you're looking at your attempts have been in a range higher than this or in this range, I think you should not waste time and start preparing for your interview stage. And what will be the weightage? What is the importance of the interview? The interview is going to be of 50 marks. Again, this is from the notification. It will be of 50 marks, of which there will be a minimum qualifying marks being applied to it of 25 marks. So 50% should be your minimum qualifying marks in this. And what will the interview assess you on? It will assess you on your academic and job knowledge. So if you, whatever your current job profile is, that knowledge and your academic background related, and of course, if this is Forex, then some basic knowledge of Forex. Apart from that, the softer skills are also assessed in a personal interview. It is also a test of your personality. So your power of expression, your clarity of thought, your qualities of leadership, your extracurricular activities, your communication skills, all these softer aspects of your personality are also taken account in an interview. When one is preparing, he has to holistically prepare from all the aspect and not just the academic knowledge aspect. So a lot of your academic knowledge and your job related knowledge, you would already be doing it for the exam, or on your job you must have gained that. So to be able to present in a nice manner and to be able to talk in a confident manner is another step that you should now be looking forward to. If you need any help, at iExamB we also conduct mock interviews with very experienced people who have been mentoring students for various government job interviews. And we have a very good success rate in all of the interviews that we have been mentoring from RBI, SEBI, IIFCL, FCI, SBI PO, IBPS PO, ECGC PO. So a lot of interviews we have been mentoring for, and we have a very expert panel consisting of very experienced people like Rashmi ma'am, who is an ex-GM of SBI, Dr. Sharma, who is ex-CGM of RBI, Mr. Mohan, CP Mohan, who is ex-CGM of NABARD, Mr. Sushil Ragde, ex-manager RBI, Arunima Sinha, ex-manager SIDBI, myself Prachi Agarwal, ex-manager CARE Ratings, Vitika ma'am, ex-bank PO, Anshul sir, uh, he's a government official, experience of in the government sector of more than 5 years. So a very experienced panel and many more guest panel members keep attending uh, and mentoring for interview preparation at iExamB. So for any kind of guidance, you can contact us or visit our website if you are interested. Wishing you all the best for your results for UBI Forex, and looking forward to see you all in the mock interview preparation round. Thank you everybody for joining in. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon to remain updated about the latest happenings related to government job exams. Thank you.